Y'all, I get to bring up our next leader. It's our brother, our comrade, the political director of Common Defense. Naveed Shah is an Iraq War veteran, and he is leading Common Defense, a grassroots organization that mobilizes veterans across the United States to achieve an inclusive democracy that works for all of us and against the forever wars that make our communities unsafe. Naveed, I'll toss it to you next.
Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. Good. Hey, everybody. My name is Naveed Shah. I'm the political director of Common Defense, a grassroots veterans organization. And today we're here to demand a government that takes care of its people, especially our veterans, and chooses diplomacy over destruction. As an Iraq war veteran, I know the cost of war. The cost of war is not just in dollars, but it's in lives, it's in families, it's in futures. I've seen firsthand what happens when our leaders rush into conflicts without a plan, leaving our troops to bear the burden. And we've seen what happens when those same troops come home, often carrying invisible scars, if not visible injuries, only to find a system that's supposed to support them, like the VA, under-resourced and understaffed. Now, this administration wants to cut 83,000 jobs from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That's 15% of their workforce. Many of them are veterans and military family members themselves. And these cuts threaten the care that millions of veterans rely on, and they're part of a broader attack on the social safety net that supports millions of Americans. They always want to talk about support the troops. They had a big parade here in DC claiming it was for the troops. But is cutting veterans' health care supporting the troops? At the same time, Trump is stoking the flames of a potentially another costly war in the Middle East. The strikes on Iran, ordered without proper congressional notification, let alone approval, were not only wrong, but ineffective. They set Iran's capabilities back by mere months, risking the lives of thousands of service members stationed in the region and millions of civilians caught in the crossfire. This reckless escalation wasn't about strategy, it was a political gamble. Trump made a bet with the lives of our service members who are currently stationed in the Middle East, hoping it would win him accolades, and how wrong he was. Over the past few days, the anti-war majority has risen in full force, and I've been so proud to see it. Many of you have done that, and I really appreciate it. From protests in the streets to petition signatures, from calls flooding members of Congress and rallies around the country, we're reminding this White House that the power lies with us, the people, and we're not going anywhere. While we are cautiously optimistic for the ceasefire, we're also very weary because, let's face it, this guy is unpredictable. Who knows what he's going to tweet next? And we are prepared to challenge any further efforts to pull us into another forever war. Which brings me to why I'm here today, alongside these other amazing leaders. We are fighting for legislation so that Congress and the people they represent can reclaim its war powers authority. The war powers resolutions are about restoring checks and balances, ensuring that no president, Republican or Democrat, can act like a king and plunge us into a conflict without the consent of Congress, the people that represent all of us. This escalation without provocation, to me, really reminded me of the Iraq War's moral failures. Difference is that back then, at least the Bush administration had the wherewithal to make a case. We know that WMD Iraq was a lie. I've been there. We didn't find any WMDs, by the way. But at least they tried. In this case, there was no case made, nothing to the public, not even to Congress, to say that here's why we're doing this. Trump's overreach, bypassing Congress to order these strikes, didn't make us safer. It made us more vulnerable. It put our troops, our allies, and our country at greater risk. And meanwhile, let's not forget the dangers of what this administration is doing right here at home, deploying American troops against peaceful protesters, targeting nonviolent immigrants with ICE raids, and even those who are just showing up for their hearings. These actions politicize our military and make a mockery of justice and the rule of law. As a veteran, I know the military exists to protect our nation, not to serve as a political tool. When I served in Iraq, I saw the consequences of decisions made without accountability, decisions that left our troops under-equipped, under-supported, and sent into conflicts with no clear end. But now, the American people are speaking loud and clear. We need healthcare, not warfare. And when we come home, too many of us found a VA that was stretched thin, struggling to provide the care we earned. And now this proposed 15% cut to the VA would make that struggle even harder, denying veterans access to mental health services, medical care, and the support we were promised. This isn't just a policy failure to me, it's a betrayal of those who I served with. And it's not just veterans who are under attack. Congress is preparing to vote on a budget resolution that would slash nearly $1 trillion from programs like Medicaid, food assistance, and education, lifelines that millions of Americans, including veterans and military families, depend on. These cuts would gut the social safety net to fund tax giveaways for the ultra wealthy and big corporations. This is a moral failure and a direct attack on the values that we fought for. We fought for a nation that takes care of its people, not one that prioritizes profit over its people. And that's why we need diplomacy, not bombs. The strikes in Iran didn't make us safer. They escalated tensions and brought us to the brink of another forever war. Diplomacy, backed by a strong anti-war movement, is really the only path to lasting security. It's why Common Defense is fighting alongside organizations like Move On, Working Families, Indivisible, and Public Citizen to stop these cuts and protect our future. So here's the call to action, and we need you to join us. Right now, Congress is deciding whether to advance a budget that would devastate Medicaid and other vital programs. So we're organizing a national phone bank to reach more people and urge them to join us to help stop these cuts. Sign up for that phone bank right now. Make your voice heard. Help us call your senators, demand they vote no on any budget that sacrifices our veterans, our families, and our communities for the sake of corporate greed. As Americans, we know our power. We've shown it in the streets, in the calls to Congress, and the petitions we've signed. Our pressure is working, and we're only getting started. Together, we'll continue to say, hands off our social safety net, and there are no kings in America. We, the people, will always show up to defend our values, peace, justice, and care for all those who call this country home. Thank you for standing with us.